They say they got a documentary coming out, or maybe it's already out. It's about the Freaknik, our behavior in the 80s. This is not a video to belittle anyone or put somebody up on a pedestal like I'm sin free or something like that. No, it's not about that, because we all have situations where we was not operating in a high vibration and we was on some lower frequency. Thing is this. I know a lot of people want to look at it and watch it and this and that, and got all these memes coming out talking about, is this your mama? Is this your daddy? Maybe this your grandma or your auntie or your uncle. Look at them. Okay, we all been young. But at the same time, we gotta watch what we done. It's gonna be kind of hard to come across as mother or father with wisdom when we doing the same thing we see our children's friends doing. Not saying that we ain't been young before, but we gotta understand that we have some explaining to do, when they see certain things. So we gotta understand there's a certain type of approach that we need to give. Yes, there are a lot of things that went down in the atmosphere that a lot of people are ashamed of, but at the same time, we are not to be ashamed of it, but be ashamed of the act of doing it. But let it be a testimony to show and grow from, to say, hey, let's not stay that way. This is not our culture. This is not what God, Abba, Yehovah, Yahweh created us to be. We're not savages. We're not animals. See what they doing with these films, and they putting them out for entertainment. Understand the what they say, the tactics. Understand the what they using it for. It's a propaganda tactic, where it happened in every society. Every time they wanted to get rid of a certain people, what they did was they put them on display. They used film. Hitler did it with the Germans did it when they went against Britain, when they used for the first time film, when they used the original Titanic movie. They used that movie to show that the British was like savages, that they was gambling with people's lives for money to to make the boat move faster than what it was supposed to do, and they gambled the people's lives. They didn't even test their ship out. They used what's that, Birth of a Nation, to destroy a nation of people, to display that these people are nothing but animals. So when they use what's his name, when they went across the land, they used mercenaries. First of all, they gave a bad image of the people, so when the mercenaries went out to go destroy the people, they didn't feel bad about it, because it was like they're nothing but animals. They don't even think like human beings. Look at them, savages. I'm a savage, chick. Hey, but this is what I'm saying. Be real careful and be mindful. Be mindful of what we're dealing with, especially in these times, man. It's a propaganda tactic, and we entertaining ourselves by them putting on display exploitation of us, and at the same time they're gonna capitalize on it. So be mindful that this is something to happen first before they attack the people. So people will not have the mindset to feel be passionate, have compassion for these people, and who the people that they displaying right now, while we displaying it and showing it and doing it ourselves, man. We got to watch what we put our energy into, because our energy, it radiates. Everything we do, check it out. Everything we do, the whole world loves. They follow. So when we put out their real love, putting on display of who we really are as a culture. What we're dealing with right now, the biggest virus is not COVID, flu, and none of that stuff. It's a culture virus. What we ratchetness is a normality. It's normal in society. Not saying we ain't guilty. Not saying I'm not guilty. No, man. I got many ways that I had to repent from and turn away from. See, the thing is this: while we putting on display, I use a lot of topics. It may be a face of a I don't know, a public figure or something like that. And it's not for gossip. It's for, teaching what's going on in the culture, showing you what's the temperature, so we can deal with it properly. It's nothing really about that individual. It's about what's going on in the culture that's very destructive. Now, it's not gossip because the simple fact is it's not personal. It's about attacking the situation so we can know how to deal with it properly, so we can counteract it, so we can raise up and not belittle ourselves. Hey, it comes a time where we used to speak as a child, but when we became men and women, we spake as adults. We thought as adults. We moved as adults. So why not rise, Kwame Yasharala, like Christ did? We just had the celebration of him rising. It's more than just him rising up out of the grave. It's about us rising up out of our graves. That dead man walking, that dead mindset, that degradation, that exploitation, that lower vibration. It's time to raise the nation. It's bigger than the USA. It's the world, man. It's all of us. We are dealing with times where we cannot afford to be naive and just raise up to play all the time. Yes, we must have moments where we let loose, we release. We can't just be so serious all the time. But at the same time, realize that we are in war. We are at war. And I'm talking about a spiritual war that's going on, a mental war that's going on. See, Satan, Hashatan, what he's doing is trying to get people's minds because he know that the soul is Abbas. He can't touch that. But what is he trying to touch? The minds. The minds, man. The minds. And it's what we put in our subconscious. When we upload it in our subconscious are the things that we gonna have to draw out later when we can't deal with it through the conscious. So if we ain't uploading the righteousness and we just uploading nothing but righteousness, think about what we gonna download into our lives when we deal with predicaments, man. So it's time for us to raise up out of that. Hey, check the game and see what they doing with this propaganda tactic, man. Hey, no more man versus woman, woman versus man. Okay, we both got issues, but it's about what do we want to do? Do we want to change it? That's what happened in the garden when man ate of the fruit, partook of the fruit, which was a sexual exchange. What happened in the garden, and Abba came to him and asked him, what's up? First thing he started doing was blaming the woman and blaming God in the same sentence, trying to kill two birds with one stone. How you do that? But it's time for us to rise up. He was giving him an opportunity when he said, man, where are you? It ain't that God didn't know where he was at. He was letting him identify himself. There was a question for Adam. So this is a question for us. Where are we? Where are we? Do we want to rise up out of the situation, or we want it to just be our entertainment? We want it to be gossip. Because think about it. The energy that we give out, it shall return. So we need to learn before we burn, before it's our turn, So let's give out that righteous energy, man. It's about teaching and reaching and elevating each other. He said if he be lifted up, he would draw all men unto him. So are we belittling? We don't have to step on each other to be lifted up. That's the opposite way. That's the way of Hashatan, where he said he wanted to ascend his throne above God, the stars, and the angels. God said, go low before you go high. Dig down, get the foundation, build up off of the solid foundation, then build up, because it won't crumble because the foundation is solid. What is that foundation, man? The holy word, man. Who is that word? That's a being. That's an entity too. We stand on this, man. We stand on that only. That's the foundation. So we gonna continue to just entertain ourselves with degradation? Or we gonna rise, man, up out of that? It's about solutions, man. Because if we ain't coming to the solutions and we just adding to the pollution, if we ain't thinking about the answer and all we do is point out the problems, then what are we doing? I'm out, y'all. Exodus Effect, escaping the bondage mindset. Raise your frequency and catch this vibration. I love y'all.